Welcome back to Radio Italiana 531, Studio Sanremo. Benny, we were talking about products that were seasonal, non-seasonal. Now we're going to go and talk about actual seasonal products.
Absolutely, yeah. So we love to tell people what's in season because there's a lot of health benefits as well as economical benefits to be eating what's in season. As it's being picked, that's when we need to eat it before it goes into storage. It's also good for the economy, supporting the businesses as they're picking, but it's also good on our own pockets as well because if we're eating what's in season, it means it's in good supply. So the pricing is going to be good. So it's, we're coming into winter, we're looking for vitamin C, immune boosting stuff to keep us going through those colder weather. Now, kiwi fruits, I love kiwi fruits and they are a great immune booster, lots and lots of vitamin C in them. So we're starting to see them hitting the shelves. Now, they're not grown in South Australia, but so that's why we talk about the New Zealand varieties that are coming through. So the other day I tried a gold zespri kiwi and I have to tell you, they are tasting really, really good. Have a look out for them. Look at for the Zespri brand. They've got some really cute point of sale with a stuffed kiwi. And they'll be doing some sampling in some of our local Pick SA stores as well over the next couple of weeks. So you can try them before you buy them, let them, so that you know what they're tasting. We've just posted one at Foodland at Manapara. They're going to be doing some sampling out there next Thursday. So get along there and have a look and try them out before you buy them. But yeah, kiwi fruits, plenty of them will be coming into supply.
Do you remember what they were called? I first saw them when I was about 12 years old in the East End markets. I'd never seen them before, and that's 54 years ago. Do you remember what the original name was for them?
Oh, I don't know.
Chinese gooseberries.
Ah.
And they changed the name to kiwi fruit because they look like a little kiwi. But I don't know if that was the reason they changed the name. But Chinese gooseberries.
I have heard that before, so it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, so get them into your. They're great for lunch boxes as well. Take a spoon with you and eat them. They're great. Now, pomegranates. I saw the most amazing South Australian grown pomegranates on the market floor this morning. They were so large. They were bigger than my hand. And, I think they're a bit of an underrated fruit as well. The juice has 3 times the antioxidants of a green tea. So if you're after a great natural anti-inflammatory, pomegranate juice is amazing for you. But, that you can juice them, but it's the seeds really that we love. So the seeds are just great to top onto stuff. You can put it on your panna cotta. You can add them to salads. You can even, I've seen some recipes adding pomegranate seeds to your pizza as well.
Yes.
So give it a bit of a crunch. Or even on your cheese board with a bit of goat's cheese. There's lots of different ways that you can use pomegranate seeds. We've been talking about winter and roast and stuff, so you're probably not going to do that with your pomegranates, but there's lots of ways that you can use them.
I'm glad you mentioned adding them to salads because I really enjoy that, and that's not promoted very often. But pomegranate seeds in season, juicy big pomegranate seeds added to a salad, sensational.
Yeah,
absolutely
great
sensational.
flavours, a little bit of texture into your salads as well. So as I said, eating in season is great for your pockets, your budgets. Berries, everyone loves berries, but they are very tight at the moment. You are going to see some really high prices on berries in your retail store at the moment. So for those that really love berries, maybe just kind of hold out a little bit for the prices to come back. But it does reflect the restricted supply that we have. And we're so excited, South Australian citrus season. So we're seeing lots of citrus coming into the market floor at the moment from the Riverland. We've had mandarins and oranges coming through. The colours of the citrus this season is so fantastic. We were comparing some that had come down from Queensland versus some that were grown in the Riverland, and the colour on these mandarins and oranges just popped. So because we have a little bit of cooler weather in South Australia as opposed to, the varieties that we get down from Queensland, the colours just really come out in the citrus. We don't have to, add any chemicals or fumigate them to get that colour. They naturally get that colour from the weather and the climate we have in South Australia. So they are looking good. They are tasting fantastic. So if you're yet to put some citrus into your weekly shopping, grab some Riverland grown because there's plenty coming through and they're tasting really great this winter. Another thing that I saw on the market floor that, doesn't get much attention is a pink mammoth custard apple. So They're from Queensland. We always kind of like to try some tropical fruits. And so this one was worth mentioning because, there's something new, something different that perhaps people don't use a lot of. And you pick them like you do an avocado. So people are like, how do you pick a good custard apple? So you just give it a bit of a squeeze like you would an avocado. So you're looking for that same kind of consistency. If they're hard, same as a hard avocado, you need to ripen it up. Chuck it in a brown bag with a banana. That'll speed up that process for them. And we all love our smashed avo on toast for breakfast. Well, why don't you try a bit of smashed custard apple? Put a bit of honey, a little bit of cinnamon on it.
Yum.
Something a little bit different for your breakfast. And also, it's not a fruit, it's not a vegetable, but chestnuts are in. Lots of Italians love their chestnuts.
Oh, yes.
They were roasting at the markets this morning. We tried them. Not to my palate, but lots of people love roasted chestnuts this time of year.
Absolutely love them. And just going back to the ricotta, you've really got some mouth-watering combinations here. Ricotta with anything is fantastic for breakfast, but I'm going to go and buy some custard apples and mix them up with ricotta. I might even have some chestnuts as well.
Absolutely. I was told this morning we were trying some chestnuts on the market floor. So actually, I'll give him a shout out. Nat from SA Mushrooms was roasting them for us this morning. I was told you have to be very careful with the way you peel them. It's a tricky process. They saw me fumbling with it and said, Penny, that's not how you do it. So I was corrected and someone else did it for me. So they can be a bit tricky to peel.
They've got to be cooked properly. If they're not cooked quite right, they're very difficult to peel. You can also boil them with bay leaves. They're fantastic too.
There you go.
If you don't want the roasted taste.
But yeah, very popular in the Italian community. So that's where we're at with fruits. And let's continue our conversation on vegetables. Now, as we came in before, you said you hadn't heard of these. The kalettes, lots of people have been waiting for the kalettes to come into supply. Now, these are grown in South Australia in the Adelaide Hills, and they're a hybrid between the Brussels sprouts and the kale. So when you roast them, put a little bit of olive oil, a bit of salt on them, and the leaves will crisp up, like you'll get the kale crispy leaves, and they're absolutely delicious. Brussels sprouts, also red and green varieties coming through from the Adelaide Hills, and they're in great supply. White zucchinis, plenty of them around at the moment. It's interesting that they're called a white zucchini because they're actually pale green. So I'm not sure who named them or why they named them, but they've got a thinner skin to the green zucchini, but they're actually called a white zucchini. So, if you're a vegetarian, zucchini patties for dinner, there's lots of different things that you can do with zucchinis to add them in, as well as roast them as well.
To make a lasagna.
Make a lasagna with them,
yum.
absolutely. For those that are watching their carbs, you can use zucchini slices instead of pasta.
I've seen zucchinis turned into spaghetti. You can actually string them
Yeah.
and serve them as you can have a
spiraled.
zucchini napolitana.
Absolutely, it's great. And we were talking about pumpkin before in our basket that we're giving away. We had a butternut and a Jap pumpkin. There's plenty of pumpkin around, great for cold weather. And plenty, as we said, plenty of potatoes, sweet potatoes. We love a sweet potato, don't we?
Or not just in fries, not just as wedges, but even made into gnocchi. If you try sweet potato gnocchi, you'll probably never go to the original back to the original potato ones again.
I don't think I've ever tried that, so we'll have to give that a go.
Put that on your list.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're really abundant, looking great for winter cooking, and plenty of normal potatoes around. And like I said, if you're worried about the carb loads, have a look for those low carb varieties. There's a few brands that are doing them. Or, the microwavable bags, just chuck a bag of potatoes in the microwave for 4 minutes, add a bit of butter, salt, olive oil, etc. There's plenty of ways to get some quick and easy dinners with healthy South Australian grown produce.
Penny, thank you. Is there anything you want to add on
No, we just love coming in and telling everyone about what's going on. Like I said, winter vegetables, it's cold. Congratulations to those growers that won awards last week. It's great the AusVeg Awards actually didn't go ahead last year because of COVID. So it was great to be able to have an event where we got all the growers together and celebrated the successes of some of our great South Australian growers, young growers, and people that are contributing to the industry. Congratulations also to Maria from Rainbow Fresh, who was named Women in Horticulture. They've had a bit of a tough year at Rainbow Fresh. They had a fire. They had a fire at their packing shed October last year. So lovely family business out in the Gawler River area, doing packing lettuce lines and spinach, etc. So they've had a bit of a tough year. So to see Maria announced as a woman in horticulture for the year was really quite special. So congratulations to her and the family who are rebuilding, and hopefully they'll have a new packing shed built and up and running by October, they expect. So that's great. So. But look, always, we're so fortunate in South Australia. We have this produce bowl on our doorstep. We've got amazing growers in South Australia who supply into over 100 independent fruit and vegetable stores. It's so easy to be able to support South Australian growers, South Australian businesses that work around the clock to keep fresh produce supplied in South Australia. So look for the Pick a Local, Pick a Say sign in your local retailer to know that you're supporting South Australian business. Join our conversations online on our Facebook, on our YouTube, our Instagram, and let's keep supporting these amazing growers of South Australia.
And it's more about than just South Australia and being parochial. It's about the fact that we have clean air, we've got clean water. It's the right place to grow things, even if it's non-fruit and veg, which is what we're here to talk about, but even fish and it's a fantastic state to use local products because it's so clean and green.
And like I said, if you, I know we're on air, but if you could have seen these oranges at the markets this morning, South Australian grown versus the Queensland one, and the pop of colour that was coming out of those Riverland
making me
oranges
thirsty.
was amazing. So yeah, we're very, very fortunate in South Australia.
Penny, thank you very, very much for a lovely half hour we've spent together. Michaela, thank you for coming in. Lucrezia, thank you very, very much. We will see you in a fortnight's time.
Thanks for having us.